Hello. New messages on YouTube. Oh, it's very strange too. My vision, I mean. I'm going to just give a few moments for people to come on to the chat. I hope that everyone is doing well through this transition that we're in. Let's talk about some of the energies that I've noticed and some of the messages I've been receiving, and read a little bit deeper into this energy because it is quite potent. And depending on, your journey and what you're meant to get out of it is what your experience, hello Granny Paula, is what your experience is going to be, but it is temporary. I'm just unpacking some of my cards here. Okay. So it's cold. I'm wearing a hat because my hair is still wet. And in this old house, it's taken hours for my hair to dry. Yeah, I could use a hair dryer, but I just, didn't want to. So how are you guys doing? Lots of things going on in the ethers, in the air. Yes. My 333 hat. Where to begin? Where do I begin? Well, I'm going to first start off with my voice is coming back. Hello, Nicole. How are you? Good to have you here. So all of us snow bunnies here. I see at least two of you that live in my neighborhood, and it is snowing here with some ice, and so it's definitely a day to spend indoors for sure. But back to the energy. I'm a hot mess per usual. Aw. This is a time, I will say, as soon as I got my voice back and started to feel better, instantly it got really busy. And most of the work I was doing were readings for people, but I also had client sessions. So I've had a lot of one-to-one encounters with people. And there were several new people as well. So, and there was just a collective theme that I was picking up right off the bat. And it really does coincide with a lot of the astrology, where we're at energetically. So you guys are not alone. Happy New Year, Virgo 99. Hello. We're not alone in feeling like you're a hot mess, for sure. I bet my hot mess beats your hot mess. Yeah, so we are at the very end degree of Pluto and Capricorn, the 29th degree. Now we've been hanging on this degree point for a while, but Pluto's getting ready to move. On the 20th, Pluto will be in Aquarius. So, and this is the planet that is linked to great change. Changes that we have no control over at all. Not that we have control anyway. Let's just put that out there. We don't have control over most things. What we do have control over is ourselves and how we react and respond Are we still reactive in the sense of not diving a little deeper into what the trigger points are showing us or directing us to, going into our healing? Are we falling into old patterns still? It becomes more and more uncomfortable. And as Pluto's coming to the very end point, that is the most potent energy. It's very intense. It's where the universe starts to really crank up the heat, and it makes what used to be comfortable, if it's no longer in alignment with your soul's path, it becomes uncomfortable. And the longer we just stay in that uncomfortable, which we need to stay in the uncomfortable to, first of all, understand, get a deeper understanding. But if we don't make a move or a change, it becomes so unbearable and uncomfortable that it's a human condition. We don't make changes until we're forced to, or it becomes so ungodly uncomfortable that we've got to either look at things a new way, go deeper into healing, make a change as far as moving direction, where our life is going, our relationships are going. The truth is all being very much revealed, but are we actually seeing it? Are we looking at it? We're just a bunch of hot messes. Oh, that's okay. Embrace that hot mess. Remember this from when you go forward. You're going to reflect back on this time, and really truly see how much strength, how much courage, how much tenacity it takes to continue. And I will tell you, I was one of those hot messes alongside of you guys not too long ago, just a few weeks ago. And even I was very fortunate that I did, even though I was sick over the holidays, something had shifted in me. So I wasn't dwelling on the fact that I was missing out on family and friends and blah, blah, blah. I took the time to really take care of myself to get better. But prior to that, I had my own emotional turmoil and things that started to reveal themselves, truths that were not so pleasant to accept. But what I want to tell you is, since I guess you'd say since New Year's Day, when I got my voice back, when my voice came back, I started to feel different, and really began to shift into being more in alignment with, I wasn't giving up. I wasn't giving up on my dream. I wasn't giving up on what I know is right for me. And it paid off. It's been paying off. And that's basically what I want to say is, we've got to go through these really dense, unpleasant experiences that are really pushing us and forcing us to continue to look within and ask the questions. What is this showing me? Whether it's a physical sensation, whether it is a emotional whirlpool of things. Now also energetically, we have more than just Pluto. I looked back, and I don't know if it was yesterday. My days are all messed up. I think it was from Wednesday into Thursday. The Schumann resonance was completely blacked out. We had received another solar flare and a lot of other energy coming in from the sun, just solar weather, and it must have knocked out the satellite, and it just wasn't showing or registering until, for me, I didn't notice it until Friday morning. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because you could kind of feel this void or this weird, for me it just seemed like Everything felt like it was a little bit in limbo. For others that I talked to, felt like this big, like they're in a vice grip of energy and wanted to run away from it, but there was no place to go. And that's really what Pluto's energy, what the energy is asking us, is to not run from it, but to go into it. Now, I know that's not what anybody wants to hear. I know. We don't like to feel what doesn't feel good. But again, I want to stress that a lot of times the reason why it feels as bad as it does is because of the narrative that's going along with it in our mind. Whether we are really being critical about ourselves, whether we are believing that someone or something is against us or trying to take us down, whatever the story is, that intensifies the energy and really can cause a lot of physical stress and anxiety and tension. But the consensus of what I've been picking up from other people this week is I feel lost. I feel lost. I just don't really know where to go, what to do. And at the same time, their intuition guided them to me, and they didn't know me at all. They guided them to the place that I was. And when they got there, they found support and help. And so they are following their intuition. They just don't fully trust it yet. It's very hard to trust in an unseen force. That just is, I'll be honest. All I do is communicate with unseen forces. But I have moments in time in my life, when we're really in that lower chakra survival, where there will be moments of doubt that come up in me. Light started to dim. Moments of doubt that would come up for me. And then I would have something that would incredibly come in to just have me recognize that within myself, because it's an overlay. It's an overlay of ourselves, and I might be going a little too deep, but it's another aspect of ourselves that takes over. It's part of the parts work that I talk about, that takes over, and it's solely linked to fear. It is solely linked to oppression and feelings of feeling lost, unworthy, all kinds of, I know, I hope I don't lose power. Overgiving, not enough self-care. Yeah, there you go. So you're seeing the pattern. You're recognizing it. Now what are you going to do about it? Right? So it's one thing to recognize, but then the only way to actually create an alchemical change is to put forth the steps to really committing to that change, whether it be taking better care of yourself and, not overgiving to others, because there will be a time where you're going to want to give and you're going to be able to give without depleting your energy. You're going to be able to give without feeling like you're sacrificing. But when you're in that position of recognizing that my attention and focus is on somebody else and not myself. My attention and focus is on others and not myself. And it's also an energy entanglement. We can get really entangled with and enmeshed with other people and other people's energies. It's a test also. So now I know that, for those of you who have children, it's, children that are not adult children, you can really discern and tell when, or even communicate, I just need a few moments to myself. Just a few moments. readjust, where your mind's taking you, readjust energetically, emotionally, whatever you need. We really need to take the time for ourselves more through this time, because it is this is the biggest transformation that humankind has ever gone through, like, for real. We are trying to shift into a new paradigm. Not that we are trying, that's not the right words. It is happening. The change is happening, whether we like it or not. And we are in that transition phase, which is a weird phase to be, where the old is still there, the old patterns, the old you, your old life, but there's also a lot of energy emphasizing the new. And we all deep down know what our true soul self is and desires. And it's time to put more focus onto that and not in the old, because the change is happening whether we like it or not. And I don't want to put the message out seeming as if it's a doom and gloom, because this is not meant to be a doom and gloom. However, the reason why we are so intensely, energetically, and emotionally squeezed to make big changes in ourself, just in ourself right now, it's just internally in ourself, is because we're going to have more earth based like extreme weather patterns, and other things. Like, energetically, we can go through this change if we work together more also. But if we really put our energy and our focus into making the great changes that we know we need to make, we can avoid some catastrophic events that could possibly take place in the future. Times seem scary, but I'm trying not to dwell on that. I figure if more of us can be hopeful, we can tip the scales. Exactly. Thank you, Virgo 99. And we really want to remember that. Try to look at the bigger picture here. Don't look at what the fear-based programming is putting out there for us all to see, as far as the wars. And they're only showing you the wars that really is going to cause a lot of controversy. There's so much more going on. Nobody talks about North Korea. No, I'm not going to go into it, but nobody talks about a lot of things that actually are also going on at the same time. The projection, or what we are seeing in the outer world, is also, that's more of a macro to our internal micro. The conflict going on internally. The more of us that can really work through this shift and truly get to a place of self-love, self-care, integrity, honesty, authenticity, and stop playing the games that the powers that think that they want us to play. Just stop. I stopped a long time ago, and honestly, it was scary at first. Like, I don't know if I know what I'm doing, but I know that that's not the way. And it was scary at first, but I'll tell you, nothing bad happened. Actually, the universe gifted me with a lot more to continue on my journey of not looking back, not playing in those games anymore. I don't listen to the news. I get the news. I mean, I get it through somebody's going to tell me. Downloads are going to come. I see it. I'm on social media. But I also see through a lot of the, I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. I see a lot of stuff that is, I see how it's designed. I see how it's designed to cause it's designed to cause more chaos, more stress. false narratives, yes. And so I know there was a bigger message that I wanted to come on and say before I got into the cards, and now it has escaped me. But maybe it'll come through when I start pulling cards. But know that you're not alone, and don't be hard on yourself. If you're having a tough time right now, a lot of people are. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anger, a lot of rage. These are all suppressed. This is all stuff that we've suppressed. And sometimes it's a surprise. It's like, I thought I worked through this. I thought I worked through this. Well, guess what? You didn't work through all of it. There's still some in there, and it's being triggered, and it's coming to the surface. What do we do with it? We go with it. Go into it. Go into it. But not with the narrative of this is here to harm me, or I'm a terrible person, or whatever the narrative is. Go into it to let it show you what it really is trying to show you. It's trying to unburden you with that in the future. Like my mug, just call me Glamma. Paige, you know I follow a cat channel. Last night's feed was an hour of all of us helping a young man in the UK with some dark thoughts. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm so glad that you got to be a part of that. Yes. And this is where it's leading us. So the more we work through our stuff, the more we are available to help with others. And it's not to even look for it. It's going to find us. Germany. That's beautiful that you guys all got together and really helped them through it. And a lot of people are there. These dark thoughts are they're energies. They're internal entities that we carry with us. And as we continue to go through this transition, they are making themselves known. The old way of running away and escaping from it, or even numbing yourself out, or any of that, is not working. It's not working for most people. And that's another thing that has been showing me through dialoguing with so many people this past week, is that they've already recognized, like, what I normally do doesn't work. It actually makes it worse. So they're recognizing, I actually have to do something different now. I've got to actually go into this. And it's scary. And I feel lost. And I feel alone. And I feel abandoned. But you're not. You're not. And when you start to really go into the emotion, your internal navigational system picks up. And there's an internal healing unit, we'll just call that, that we all carry inside of us that's linked to our intuition. And it is going to tell you what to do, where to go, how to seek help for yourself if you're unable to do it alone, because there is help. There's definitely help. Yes, definitely wonderful that you guys were all there for him. And these are the beautiful things, the beautiful experiences that we're going to see more and more of as well. And a lot of us that feel that big squeeze right now, it's just because it's our turn. It's our turn to actually be that helping hand to the next person who needs a hand to get up to the next rock. Like if we're rock climbing, you know, we're not gonna leave anybody behind, but sometimes we do have to go on our own journey to work through some things. But then we can turn around and see that there's some people that are like, I want to come. I just have no more energy. I just need a helping hand to, you know, get there. We've all been on the chat since last March, and I'm so glad he opened up. That's good. That's beautiful. I love that. I love to hear those stories. And it is always a win-win. when I literally spent Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, each night I got home in tears, but not in tears of sorrow, in tears of, I guess you could call it joy, or just really grateful and humbled that I was finally, I recognized I finally made it to a point, a place where I don't even have to think about it. I'm there. I'm actually helping other people, and it feels amazing. And it's helping me continue to go. Now, I've had this experience for a long time, but this is a whole nother level. This is a level of, I don't question it. I don't study what I need to say or do or think or anything. It's just, I know that Spirit is channeling through me, and that as long as I surrender to that and recognize everything that I've learned and gone through and experienced and grown through, in all this time, it's now going to be placed in front of me saying, here. It's almost like, it's like I had to put this big 2,000 piece jigsaw puzzle together, and it took me a long time, but I finally got it together. And it's like somebody else coming to me with their half done puzzle. And it's like, oh, I know how to do this. I got this. And it's the most beautiful experience. And I have to say, like, just the amount of gratitude I have to tell you, this is where the support comes from. There's so much support, but you got to trust it. That's the hardest part. Trusting that it's actually going to be there when you need it. Trusting that it's got your back. Trusting that I'm going to surrender that I think I have any control over any of this. And when I'm placed into a scenario, the energy is going to just flow through. I'm just going to know. And that it has actually organically unfolded that way. It's hard to put it to words, but it is miraculous. It is beautiful. Yeah. We all have gifts. We all have gifts, but we overthink it. And honestly, I put so much work and preparation into a lot of the work and things, and even classes that I want to teach. Like, I haven't taught any of them because I didn't think I was good enough, or I wasn't going to be able to say the things the right way or whatever. And this past week was just like, what are you doing? It's just like when you read cards. It's channeled. Surrender. Let the energy flow through you. You got this. And I did. And it works. It's bringing out gifts in me I didn't know existed. It truly is. So let's get a reading on this. Moon is in Scorpio right now. I will point out that as well. So we've got that Scorpio is that detective, likes to go deep into the dark places. And so does the moon, the dark side of the moon. So if you are visiting some of your darker aspects, embrace them too. Get to know them. They are parts of you. We're not all light and love. We've got we are complex creatures. Well, yeah, creatures, I guess you could call us. Embrace it. It's temporary. It really, truly is. You will not be here forever. You will not be a hot mess forever. Unless you keep telling yourself that. I mean, you keep walking around, I'm a hot mess, I'm a hot mess, I'm a hot mess. Something's going to break through eventually. But help yourself out. Not a hot mess. I feel maybe like a hot mess, but I'm a beautiful collection of everything and nothing at the same time. It's impersonal, a lot of this. It feels so personal. It's really impersonal. It's meant to teach us grace. And that always starts with ourselves. All right, let's get a collective reading on this energy, though. What was I saying? The moon in Scorpio right now opposing Uranus, bringing up uncomfortable feelings with intensity. And the reaction response emotionally can be erratic. Uranus energy is intense. And so there could be overreactions. Could also be accidents, and I hate to say that because it's snowing and icy here, but I mean, that is also a possibility in this energy. So be careful, all of you guys. But it's just that erratic tension that's just like we have these knee-jerk responses and reactions to. So be mindful of that and take good care of you, all of you, all of us. Because I never know when a wave's going to hit me too. But right now, what I'm being shown is that these waves of energy is really hitting our stuff that is still there, that is still lingering below the surface, but it is meant for us to bring it to the light of consciousness, to be aware of it. And really, more than just awareness, we want to work on healing a lot of these things. Healing comes naturally when we put it out there like, I surrender to this now. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to be this way anymore. I know that there's something better for me. You got to really love yourself and know that there is something better. There is something better than what you are giving yourself. My voice is still not all the way back, by the way, which is interesting. And I was able to get a message for myself that for me to, yes, I had an illness for sure, but in a metaphysical, there's always metaphysical reasons for physical things as well. Yes, shift one mess at a time. The throat. So I sat with that. Why? Because this is the second time. In October, I lost my voice also. Why? And I was shown two things, actually. One, that what I really need to be more aware of than ever now, more so now than ever before, is speak it. If you're feeling it, if it comes up, speak it. I have a block. There's a part of me, there's a codependent part of me that is afraid of being too intense for somebody or delivering a message that is too harsh. So, and it's not, when I read tarot, the messages come out as they come out. But in hindsight, I'm like, ooh, was that harsh? I don't know. Should I post it? Blah, blah, blah. And the guys are like, post it. But this isn't my day-to-day life. Speak it. Speak the truth, because I'm going to be required to do that and not sugarcoat things for people. Do it in a loving, compassionate way. But the throat, like, I had a complete blockage where I couldn't speak for like 8 days. Another reason why I have that, it not only, it definitely was my childhood trauma, but it was also linked to my sense of responsibility at a very young age to be made an adult child by the age of 9 or 10. I mean, a child adult, like I had to take on an adult role and responsibilities and was never able to, I didn't even see that. I didn't even know it. And I carried that with me forever. And so there's still lingering, ongoing effects that I'm still working through. And maybe, Paula, that's something that you want to look into, or anybody who feels like, why am I taking care of everyone else and I'm neglecting myself? That was definitely an answer for me in one respect. Not that I'm doing that now, but because of the work that I'm doing now, I could fall back into that pattern, and I don't want to. I want to be very aware of that. So I wanted to put that out there for you guys in case anybody else is experiencing something in that department. Everything is all interconnected. Everything is connected and interconnected. Even if it doesn't logically make sense, especially at first. So what is the message for us collectively? Sacral chakra. Our desires. Do you feel guilty for having desire? Do you feel guilty for taking the time to find out what creative abilities you have that bring passion to your life, that bring you to life? Is there a blocked sacral chakra? Do you feel guilty about having sexual desires? There's a big one. So a lot of things collectively that are being shown to us right now. The truth, you cannot hide from the truth anymore. Prosperity begins. Okay. And another note, and another part of the message for many, I'm having this experience now. Your creative desires are beginning to come to life. And this is actually working with others, working with, at least with one other. We all want to get there. We don't want to play it safe or small anymore. Okay. Brilliant. This is a big message. It's coming through very strong, and it's actually becoming very uncomfortable in my back, so bear with me. Overall, shadow. This is a time where we are facing our shadow yet again, but with much more intensity this time. And it's actually, believe it or not, it is these light, the light, these light codes, this plasma, this cosmic light that's coming onto the planet that is helping us get in touch with that hot mess of a shadow. It's really not a hot mess, but we want to actually meet it, greet it, or them. There's more than just one shadow. Shadow just meaning these are aspects of ourselves that we deny, we suppress, we repress, continue to swallow and shove it back down, but it's coming to the surface, and with good reason. Because the true reason each and every one of us are here on this planet in this lifetime right now with all this craziness going on is because each and every one of us possesses a very unique gift internally, as well as a desire to follow this desire, the sacral chakra. So if anybody has been made to feel guilty or shameful for their innate primordial desires internally, it's being shown to you. That was unfortunately programming and conditioning and trauma that you had, or weird, right? Yeah, exactly. That's a beautiful way of putting it. Thank you for reminding me, because there are many people also, and this came up in one of my sessions, where she just kept saying, there's a part of me that wishes so much that I could just fall back and blend back in with the status quo, because it's so uncomfortable not having anybody that I resonate with, and living in this neighborhood. I don't fit in with everybody, and I try, but I just don't feel it. And so, but at the same time, she had just found support, and it opened me up to like, oh my God, support group. We got to do support group for empaths and blah, blah, blah. Like, it opened up my, my crown chakra as well. But for someone to wish they could go back to status quo at this stage in the game, no, there's no going back. There's no going back. That is not a weird, that is not a sinful, this is something that we are born with, these gifts. And yeah, they may seem weird to the mainstream or the status quo, such as telepathically communicating with animals. I've started to open my mouth up about more things that I've been doing just around anybody, and how I do not give a crap anymore what they think. Usually they're kind of intrigued, like, oh, really? Yeah. But these gifts, we also have planted a seed a long time ago, most likely in our childhood. It may have started to grow. It's always showing ourselves where our true nature belongs, where our true nature desires to be. And there are others to connect with and collaborate with there. And when we do follow this, and we don't give a damn about what anybody thinks or says, when we know we're following our heart and our soul and our desire, and you trust that there are unseen forces, very real. We feel them. Some people see them. Not everybody. Most people don't. But when we follow that, triumphant success. And I'm here to tell you that is the truth. It took me many years to get to this place. And I feel like, but the energy was different now. Now the energy is truly designed. It's like, we're going to speed this up. It's a fast track. Many of you are getting downloads through your crown chakra. Downloads just meaning insights, realizations, messages in your dreams, in your waking state. And you might not trust them. It may be saying something so silly like, go down to the donut shop. And you're like, I don't even eat donuts. Just go and get yourself a cup of coffee. And if you listen to that and you go, somehow you stumble into the person that you're supposed to be collaborating with. Who knows? Like, these things just, the universe works in very mysterious ways. But when we fight that, when we resist it, we're resisting ourselves. And that's when it doesn't feel good. So make a list of what you feel or what you're realizing holds you back from these desires. What is the narrative? What is the story? What's the excuse? There's always an excuse. We use our logical brain and it comes up with a million excuses not to do what our energy is telling us to do. Because it's not the familiar. It's not what everybody else is doing. It's not what anybody's doing. And I'm here to say, who cares? Who cares? Justice. Came out in reverse. But this is karma. And this is looking into the reflection and seeing a part of you that may have been suppressed, denied. It could be your inner child or the wild child in you that's asked, the free spirit in you that's like, let me out. Scales are being balanced. Sometimes that's uncomfortable, but know that in the end, it's always meant to be. It's always meant to bring us to somewhere that is much more comfortable for us. Oh, and don't let me forget, I want to do, after I'm done this reading, okay, I want to do the, there's a little exercise I want to do with you guys. Queen of Cups. Yes. King of Cups. This is a very positive message. The World. Two of Pentacles. Okay. So we have Shadow and Two of Pentacles. You guys can't see. Shadow and Two of Pentacles overall for both. So here in these spreads, these are very uplifting and positive messages of what is to come. Yet the overall messages are telling me Shadow and Two of Pentacles, in and out. I'm juggling in between worlds. I'm not sure. I do know. No, I don't know. Yes, I do know. No, I don't know. So it's that feeling of it's not even a feeling. This is action. This is how how the collective is operating currently. Overall is sort of juggling between these two different energies or these two different worlds that we are sort of split between right now, which is again why things feel weird, why it feels like this weird transition time. And I'm telling you, Pluto moves in Aquarius on the 20th of January. Watch how things change from there. And you'll understand in hindsight why you're experiencing what you're experiencing now in a much bigger way. So we have Justice, Karma. We have the King and the Queen of Cups. Embodying the emotions. Honoring all of the emotions. Feeling all of the emotions. And using the ability to regulate the emotions so that the mind doesn't take over and shoot all these different stress hormones through the body, but just going into them and having self-love, compassion, self-care, empathy, feeling your way through this. It's really the only way to go through it, is to feel our way through it. We continue to think our way through it. We're going to continue to think ourselves right back in the same type of feedback loop that we always loop back around to. The World. Speaking of loops. Completion. Feeling whole again. Moving into the next chapter of life. Let's do one more spread. I haven't used these cards in a while. This is called the Tarot of the New Vision, which shows the same images as traditional Rider-Waite, but from a different angle, a different vantage point. So that we can take our current experiences and see them from a different vantage point, a different angle. And if you guys have a piece of paper and pen around, or grab one if you can. If Because after this, I want to do this real quick little fun thing with you to get to know yourself even a little bit more. Okay. Ace of Swords. Eight of Swords. Here we go with the mind. Two of Swords. So we went from we always have infinite potentials, possibilities. We're the creator or the co-creator. We're not in charge here, just by the way, and the start. Okay, beautiful. So we have all these potentials, beautiful potentials, and we have all of this emotion that's coming up. And maybe what some are still trying to do is juggle through those emotions so that you're, pick and choose your battles kind of thing. No. Welcome the shadow. Welcome the shadow work. Because that is the only way that you're going to connect to the light that is already within you. You got to get through the look what's below light. Triumph. Below okay, let me show you again. So shadow, really, it's important. It's the only way to connect to source, to your source, to the source energy. Triumph. Now, if we refuse to do this, if we continue in the Two of Pentacles, I don't need to feel that. Let me, go to the gym or watch this movie or whatever, whatever we do to not feel certain feelings. We got disruption, the Tower. That's Uranus energy right there. So be aware. Be aware, as awareness is the next card under there. Be aware that this is how the cycles go. The more we ignore what is coming up for us, the more intense it gets, the harder it gets to deny it. We continue to deny it, bam, something is going to happen. Not something that's bad is going to happen, but something will crack you open. Whether it's just somebody's comment or something's going to trigger the shit out of you to, let the light in or let the light out. Let the light shine. Put it that way. So we have the Ace of Swords, new realization, clarity. Aha, it's the beginning. I see. Aha, right? And we have Queen of Swords. A little more thinking. I can suddenly see through all of this crap. And I can see it through all the crap that my mind is telling me too. And Queen of Swords is actually truth teller, truth seeker, truth teller, not seeker. Cuts through the bullshit, tells the truth, can be a little cold, not very compassionate. There's no emotion there. It is what it is kind of energy. And then we go to the Two of Swords. So this seems like a cycle, or there's clarity or aha, or I know, right? And then maybe some anger comes up or some rebellion of some sort. And it's like, screw this shit kind of thing. And then it leaves you at the Two of Swords. Now I don't know what to do because I've got two conflicting points of view going on here. I have this new point of view, but then the old one is still there. The old one is still linked to the shadow that I'm refusing to dialogue with. You see where I'm getting at? The shadow holds the key of what needs to be released. The shadow holds the key of what needs to heal. It's the Star. In order for us to actually move forward, move on with trust, with drive, with faith, with passion, and give. Give and receive. The Empress below that. So keep doing the shadow work, for sure. Keep doing that shadow work. So if you guys do have, and I'm actually been working on, I have all of these blank tarot cards, and I have 80 of them, and I actually have 80 things to put on them, and so I'm halfway done with that. I can't wait to do a reading with them, because these are all just channeled things that have come through. Receiving can be hard. Yeah, when you're not seeing in your shadow why. That the shadow holds the key as to why is it hard to receive. It goes back to childhood. It goes back to those core wounds. It goes back to I'm not worthy enough. Or something along those lines. Let me find this. So if you guys have a piece of paper or something to write down, this won't be long, but it is quite enlightening. And some of you may have already, where did I write it? Some of you may have already done this before. But for those of you who have not, you will be really surprised. Maybe it's not even in this notebook. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. Oh, I know where it is. Mommy issues. Yes. Oh, Empress below here. Mother wound. That's a big one. That's a big one this week, is the mother wound. I wonder why. Is there Cancer energy that we're dealing with? I mean, it's a good thing to get into, to really get into these things. We don't want to carry this stuff with us forward. We want to recognize what is holding us back, what's got its hold on us, what keeps shooting these stories, these false narratives to ourselves. All right, it's the 3 questions game. Has anybody played this before? So I'm going to go through it quickly. And if you want to play along, you're going to find out something about yourself here. So the first question is, what is your favorite color? And after you list what your favorite color is, I want you to list 3 deep reasons why. Not that my favorite color is blue because it's the color of the sky. No, I want depth because it makes me feel, go deep. She told me that there are leaders and there are followers, but she didn't see me as a leader. I'm 62 and she died June 2022 at 90 years old. I'm working on healing. I'm glad that you're working on that healing. And most of us have been told something, many things. And this is what lies in our shadow, in the depths of us, are these things that even though consciously we're like, maybe it's not, maybe you didn't even believe it or take it too much to the heart, but it comes up. It really will catch you by surprise sometimes. But that's definitely, here's a good way to gauge those things too. What people project onto us that is hurtful and harmful is actually the opposite of what is true. So, and it's designed to, parents should be our champions. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's not usually the case, at least for certain generations. I think it's getting better. But yeah, generational trauma is definitely something that we're still all working through, for sure. All right, so we got the first color, your favorite color, 3 deep reasons why. deep. The next question, what is your favorite animal? And list 3 deep reasons why. And don't overthink this. Let it just flow through you organically. And then the last question, what is your favorite form or body of water? And list 3 deep reasons why. Form, meaning it could be ice, snow, rain, or body of water. For me, it's like the Caribbean Sea. 3 deep reasons why. All right, good. Paula's got hers. And you have your deep reasons why? You guys give me the thumbs up when you have your deep reasons why and your favorite color, animal, and water, body or form of water. I think so. Okay. Yeah, and we don't want to overthink this. This is very like what comes up first, what comes up for you really quickly. So, and I want to do these things like in person. Like I want to hear people. So, for your favorite color, this is my view of my own personality. Virgo, what matters is what you believe about you. If you believe you are a leader, then so it is. Yeah. Absolutely. And sometimes we actually have to heal these things in order to believe the truth because it's been stuck in there for such a long time. All right, so the favorite color is linked to your view of your own personality. The favorite animal. This one's my favorite. Favorite animal is linked to my view of my perfect mate. The view of my perfect mate. And the favorite body or form of water, my view of my own sexuality. So take a look at your answer, your deep reasons why, and really reflect on those things. This is how the subconscious works. It's very interesting. Hello, Martin. I love doing little fun things like that. It just kind of opens up new things, opens up some new things within us. Raging Creek and Still Lake. Exactly. So here you are, Paula. Polarity. That's beautiful. I'm going to pull an oracle card for us all. Why are these cards? Okay. I am just in a silly mood today. Yes, yes, yes. What do we want to pull from? Oh, okay. We're going to pull from the secret language of the animals, since we were just speaking of animals, our favorite animals. I had cat as my favorite as well. But it's the deep reasons why that really you get to the depth of it. It's like, oh, interesting. We want to get to know ourselves in that way, in that kind of depth, because there's so much more to us than we even know. And I think through this next leg of the journey, after we get through this transition phase, which is going to take a little bit longer than just Pluto moving into Aquarius, it's, but things are easing their way into this change. I see some abrupt change, though, at the same time, which is why we want to really continue to work on the shadow and work on what is like causing us to react or overreact or go back into old patterns and old ways. If the cat loves you, it's the real deal, and they can be so cuddly and warm. The Mariana Trench. My cat loves me. She has been so supportive through my journey. I cannot even say, like, she's been my best friend through all of this, for sure. Deep. Is it deep? There you go. I love that exercise. I'm going to bring some more of those into some more of the lives because they're fun to do, like really kind of just catches you off guard. But it is so true. It really is. Okay. So let's get one last message for us all. The red squirrel. The first word here that stands out to me is preparation. Do y'all feel like you're being prepared for something bigger? You feel like we're in this preparation stage? I feel like I should be packing up a bunch of stuff for a very important trip that I'm not taking quite yet anyway, but like that's just the energy that I feel. It's like, all right, what do I need? What do I like? I don't want to overpack. That's kind of like the energy I've been feeling for whatever it is I'm being prepared to move into. Let's read it from the book. Start collecting. Yeah. Start collecting those nuts. If the squirrel has scurried into your life, now is a powerful moment to look at the qualities of your actions and preparedness in life. Sometimes, in reaction to the pressures of our daily to-dos, we find ourselves running around, doing a bunch of activity, but without real empowerment in our actions. We do 10 things in a rush to get them done instead of doing the 2 on the list that matter the most and doing them with 100% commitment. The message of Squirrel is to pause and ask yourself what really needs to be done to make the most impact and leave yourself feeling fulfilled, not scattered and fatigued at the end of the day. What is one thing I can do today that, if done to the very best of my ability, will make the most difference to myself and others? Work hard, but balance times of focus with genuine play and rejuvenation. Even Squirrel takes a midday nap. Considering the path to your great visions, it may serve you to bring attention to planning and preparing at this time, to ground yourself in the physical detail of what will be required to achieve your dream. Sometimes, as dreamers, we avoid this vital step so as not to box ourselves in. But the truth is that when we take simple steps to prepare, we honor the integrity of our vision and create opportunity for real freedom and peace of mind when it matters most. Squirrel also teaches us that even the best plans change and unfold in ways that we can never imagine. Sometimes the nuts we stored yesterday may not be in the same spot today, but in our search, we may discover an even better stash. So come prepared, but don't be so hung up on your planning that you become rigid and unable to respond to unforeseen shifts in reality. Squirrel medicine advises not to judge too quickly or scatter your energy in chatter or critical analysis. Take a moment instead to calmly assess the situation and open yourself to perceive and receive the unexpected gifts that are certain to emerge with unforeseen changes. The mantra is, with discipline and focus, I build my plan, honoring the integrity of my vision. With humility and openness, I release the how, trusting the flow of great spirit within. That's a really lovely way to complete the reading, because I think that all of that came up in some of the dialogue, whether it was just through me or through the cards. And part of that preparation is releasing what no longer serves us, what has brought us not only great pain, but just the wrong internal narrative, and holds us in. We tend to focus too much on what we're doing wrong or what's gone wrong, and instead of taking those as gifts, as wisdom, as an understanding. I think we take things way too literally here on this planet a lot of times, and it can get us kind of hung up in a certain kind of way. I know I've certainly been guilty of that. I don't even want to use the word guilty, but I've certainly experienced that. And like I was saying, my personal experience with knowing, it's first the knowing. I know that I need to let go and trust spirit, trust the flow, trust my connection, trust all of these things. Yet knowing that is half the battle. Then it's actually putting that into action and practice, putting that into practice, because that does not feel, it is natural, but it doesn't feel natural because we've been taught the opposite. We've lived the opposite most of our lives. So it takes practice. It takes being very present and mindful with yourself in the day-to-day. That's another thing that I've recognized, especially this week, but more and more people are showing me, I'm able to see that they're not in their body. They're not in their body. They're in their head, but they're like, their energy is swirling around above their head even. So they feel very ungrounded, and they're letting their thoughts take over. But once you start to slow down, start to ground, take some breaths, do some candle gazing. If you are in a warm climate where you can go outside in bare feet, do that. Can't do that here where I'm at right now. It's snowing, but you can candle gaze. That's a really nice way to ground. And this is not in any way like a pampering. This is to regulate the energies, the influx of energies and emotions that we are swimming through and experiencing right now. So I hope that some of this or all of this was helpful for you guys. Candle gaze, started my day good. Yeah, I love candle gazing. I have one here right now, and my eyes keep going down to it. It's a nice way to really calm the nerves for sure, and to ground. This big shift is definitely another big wave of change for the collective. We're way too logical, always in the mind, think and speak your feels. Yeah, yes, for sure. And that's pretty much what came up in the reading with the King and Queen of Cups. Really feel your feels, be in the feelings, and if they are overwhelming you, get yourself to a place of being grounded and try to really tap into, why are these emotions overwhelming me? They obviously want to talk to me. They want me to see something that, and heal something that I've either been running away from or only touching the surface of. A lot of times we just touch the surface. Oh, mother issue? Yep, I know. And then we go the other way. We don't go into it. And it's important to go. And if you need help, I'm able to help. There are many other practitioners that are out there. Like, we're all very busy right now because there are a lot of people seeking help in going deeper within. Because sometimes we do need help. And that's sort of why many of us have been prepared to be at this stage of the game right now where we can truly embody the source energy that's there for us to help. Like, it's actually energy that's channeling through us that's helping. It's not us, but we got to do the shadow work to allow that pure energy to channel through. I work at finding reasons to be grateful for the positive lessons my mother gave. Good, good. Stay in the center. Good, Virgo. Yeah. And the attitude of gratitude, just being able to get to, and you don't want to, here's the thing, you don't want to fake anything. You don't want to prematurely go into forgiveness or gratitude. Gratitude is pretty easy to find. You got to really get yourself to a grounding space if you're way up in your head or, too far in the anxiety or fear or anger or anything that's taking over you. But you want to, like I said, candle gaze or whatever to kind of bring it back down to a more as calm as you can get, or neutral state even. I lost where I was going there. I lost where I was going there. Anything else? You guys got anything else you want to talk about before I sign off here? I know, like suddenly I am embodied, but really sometimes we find ourselves not in our body, not realizing it. And when you finally realize it, you're like, oh my God, how long was I like this? Sometimes it could be like all day or all year, Gratitude, finding gratitude, not even finding gratitude, but not prematurely forgiving or getting to a place, and will naturally come, and life will bring you reasons. It'll be humbling from time to time. I know every time I used to have like a stupid temper. I called him stupid. See here, I would have a temper tantrum about something, and then suddenly I would get like a phone call, like a FaceTime with my grandson, and it would like totally humble me. And that's the universe like coming in like, enough of this, Paige. Here. Here, look at this beautiful 2-year-old child. Very innocent, and he's going to snap you out of it. And suddenly I find myself in gratitude. So you can always ask for, please give me some assistance here in finding gratitude. But for most of us, just the fact that we have our basic needs met is a big reason to be grateful, because there are many on the planet that do not have their basic needs met at all, meaning they don't have food, they don't have water, they don't have shelter, they don't have clean air or clean water. So there are many things to be grateful for. And I don't want to sound like, my mother used to be like, there's starving children in Africa, so eat your peas kind of thing. But honestly, if you're struggling to find gratitude, that's a good way to get there pretty quickly. Ask yourself too, what did I do to nourish myself today? Yes. Yeah, because we need to do that each and every day, for sure. Surrender the things you can't control to the omnipresent. Yes. Surrender. Here's what I've learned. We should not be trying to control anything. We don't have control. The only thing we have control over is regulating our emotions and our thoughts. We can do that. But aside from that, we can't really control outside forces and other things that happen. So that's where the planning too far ahead or having too strong or strict expectations, it's got to be this way, and I'm not going to be okay inside unless I manipulate things to be a certain way so I am okay. Those days are over. I mean, people are still going to try to operate that way, but they're going to find themselves in a lot of pain and stress. It's limited. Yes, it's limited for sure. But yeah, we got to be okay inside, because what we're witnessing and seeing and experiencing outside of ourselves is tied to what's going on internally, for sure. Not everything, but yeah, give it a try. Give it a try. One day you wake up and like, you can't fake it either. You got to be really like grateful and happy and walk out your door and just see how you will be greeted by strangers like, hello, out of nowhere. Like the energy outside of you changes when you change it internally, when you start working through that stuff. Everything is right for its place and time. Yeah, there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. Everything happens in divine order, for sure, no doubt. I have no doubt about that at all, and that's a beautiful thing. That kind of takes me off the hook a lot of times. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me and being a part of all of this today. I always enjoy coming on here and engaging and just connecting with all of you. And for all of you who are going through a tough time emotionally right now, just hang in there. It's temporary. It will ease up and actually really start to show you more of your truth and your light. And we always know these waves, they come and go, but when they're strong, they're strong. And know that you're not alone, and there's always support. There's always support out there. I'm always here to support you as well. So, let's just keep going and flowing. And we will get to a much more peaceful, beautiful place. Honestly, why else are we here, right? We're not here to suffer. And yeah, things are shifting for the better, for sure. Emotion equals energy in motion. Yes. Oh, well, thank you all for sharing your light as well. And yes, we will stay warm here. It is coming down pretty hard now. Actually, it sounds like we're getting some ice coming down too. I'm so glad you caught this live also, Virgo99. Take care, everybody. Much love to you all. Yeah, have some warm soup. I'm pretty warm. I just had wet hair. That's why I have my hat on. Big hugs to all of you. Take care. Love you. Bye.